This week, we're talking about NVIDIA. NVIDIA is making headlines with the RTX 3060. Do you know anything about the RTX lineup?
Not much, man. I'm still so outdated. I'm just barely catching up with the 3080 series, man. Since I've been out of tech for like maybe a couple of years, 3-4 years. So gotta bear with me, guys. You too, Joe. Gotta bear with me a little bit. I'm kind of rusty in all this.
Yeah. So I told you I own the RTX 2060. And so this is the up version for that. It usually takes like a year or two before the next one comes out. Because they have to start at the very top. They usually start at like the Titan class and they go down to RTX 3080 and 70. So the RTX 3060 has been spotted in the wild. People are doing already doing benchmarks of it. So there was a leaked benchmark on YouTube. So we're starting to see some of that. Benchmark Lab has a YouTube video about it showing Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah. And so it's showing that there's pretty good performance. It's getting like
That's interesting.
Like 70 frames at 1080p. They didn't necessarily say if there was it was RTX on or not, ray tracing. But what we're seeing is that they think like average wise so far, like looks like 20% higher frames than the 2060, which is decent. But if I look at like a user benchmark of the past, they have like 5 games that they have an average. They have CSGO, Grand Theft Auto, Overwatch, PUBG, and Fortnite. If you average those, the 1060, the GTX 1060 compared to the RTX 2060, it said that the average was 43% faster for the 2060. But if I do a comparative, I'm just doing like apples to oranges kind of, because that hasn't been updated on user benchmark, but I'm comparing like the RTX 3070, which has been out there, and the RTX 27 Super. They're about the same price point, like $500 for the 70 and $510 for the Super. That has like a 5-game average of like 15% faster. So you can see that this generation, you're getting less of performance increase, but the benchmark website doesn't necessarily take it into effect like DLSS, like super sampling, which increases your frame rate and gives you a better image too. So I'm not sure if user benchmark has to update their benchmark processes to account for DLSS. But they're saying, this article is saying, and their video is saying that it's a 20% higher frame rates. And even by that, I would say basically NVIDIA was telling us that the RTX series was like a significant bump up compared to the 10 series to the 20 series, because people were complaining that the 20 series wasn't enough performance for how much they were charging. But
yes,
from what I gather from this website and from what was it was Benchmark Lab and also userbenchmark.com, that it doesn't look like what they said it was. It doesn't look like we're getting as big a jump from even the 10 series, which is weird because people were complaining about the 20 series not having really good performance, but going from the 10 series to the 20 series look like it actually has like a bigger performance increase.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure. Somebody else can leave some comments if I'm totally comparing the benchmarks incorrectly, and show me proof that the RTX 3060 is actually a better price per performance compared to the jump from 1060 to 2060. It's all a little bit confusing because benchmarks, leaked and whatnot. But at the moment, though, the evidence that I see, it looks like the 3060 series, when Jensen went on the stage to like tell us, oh, gamers wanted this, and we've answered the call. It doesn't look like it's the price to performance increase that people wanted. They wanted more performance.
Well, going to this topic, Joe, on this, which one would you get? The RTX 3060 or the RTX 2060, in your opinion? What would you recommend to the people?
At the moment, I would recommend, like, it's all based on how fast you need, what you need it for. If you're going to price to performance, I would say the 2060 if you can get your hands on it. The 3060 isn't out there yet, and a lot of the cards aren't out there. You know, you can't find like a 3080. You go on like Best Buy, or you go on Micro Center, a lot of websites. A lot of cards are sold out. So basically, at the moment, it's getting whatever card you can get at the price point that you want it at.
Mm-hmm.
Because the market is so saturated with the demand. Everybody's like staying home and playing video games, it looks like. Or they're not staying home and play. Yeah, they are staying home. Like in one way or another, they're staying home. You know, people who normally would go to like a sports game can't go to a sports game, right?
Yep, you can't.
So you're watching it on TV, but maybe you have more free time to play some video games. I don't know, you know? And a lot of kids, right? They usually go do like watch movies or something else, but now there's no, you know, I don't know. So there's a huge demand for GPUs. And so if you can't find any GPU, then you find what you can.
Interesting.
It's like you can't be as picky as you want it, or you have to wait until you know, until the global crisis is gone, and then we can all get back to buying things at normal prices or normal demand, you know?
Yep, definitely.
But this article goes into talking about how, you know, like what they typically do for a laptop, because you have like such constraints, is they're going to have a lower wattage. Instead of the normal would be 115 watts at max, or not max, but like that's advertised, right? It can go more than 115 when you really push it to 100%, or overclock it. But the laptop SKU is going to be down at like the 60 watt, which is the lowest for laptops. But yeah, so pretty cool that we're finally seeing the 3060 series. I personally think the 60 series for NVIDIA is where, like, a gamer who wants to, like, they want to go forward, right? They want more performance than the previous generation, but they don't want to. They don't want to break a leg for it. But because if you wait for like the 1050 series, like the 50 series, you know, 50s and 50 Ti, like the Ti series, the 50 Ti's, those really don't seem like enough of a jump usually. So I just think the 60 series is like a really solid like choice. So it's usually been like the gamers, like the GTX 1060 is one of the most popular graphics cards in recent time, and it's just at that price point that people are willing to take the bullet at like $270, you know.
Interesting.
And like when you go up to 270 and 280 and 290, you know, or 390, I mean, now you're just paying more and more and getting less performance for every dollar that you spend more. And those people are usually the people who are like, you know what I mean? Money is no issue, or they're in content creating, or like, you know, they make stuff for Twitch or YouTube or something, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, my brother would be a guy who would buy like the 3070 series or the 3080 series, but the 3080s now has been like it's been like that's increased. He's never bought a graphics card that's more than like 600, I think.
This is ridiculous on the pricing.
Yeah. So I personally can't go past 300. I did buy a $330 graphics card. I won't go beyond that.
I would pay most it's 600.
600.
The most, but that's that'll be my max, man. I don't know if I could go to 1,000, but
no, it's and then the cheaper ones are the more convenient ones are like the 50 series at like probably $150, $180. So that would be like people who are just on a tight budget.